Candace versus Wilson debate. Now, I purposely waited a day. I wanted all the pundits, all the podcasters, all the commenters to weigh in so I could get a really good educated guest to bring you Candace versus Wilson debate in 20 minutes or less. Her agenda was to prove that Tyler Robinson was not responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Wilson, on the other hand, went there for the express purpose to debunk. I am going to tell you in 20 minutes or less who scored the most points. And at the end, I'm actually going to tell you who won the debate. You're going to be very surprised there, or are you? So again, Candace versus Wilson in 20 minutes or less. The Joe Rossano Show is next. Welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. Hi, I am Joe Rossano. Candace wanted to argue the merits of the case against Tyler Robinson, and Wilson wanted to smack down her alleged conspiracy theories. And Wilson wanted to say everything Candace is saying is bullshit. Now, I'm going to run some clips. I'm going to give you some analysis. I'm going to tell you who scored points where, and I'm actually going to tell you who won the debate. The real winner of the debate. Stick around for that. Before I do, I'm going to kindly ask you to please click that subscribe button. Click like, share, comment, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show, who gives it to you in 20 minutes or less. Okay, so we have Candace Owens in one corner. We have Wilson in another. We got a referee, Patrick Bet David. We've got fact checkers. We have people running video clips. So who won this thing? That's a good question. The internet consensus says that one person scored more points. One person was basically 60-40. Most of the folks didn't like Wilson. And some folks felt that Candace pivoted on a number of things that she said on her show. So I think with no further ado, let's take a look at exactly what it is that we are talking about here. We are going to start with this Patsy claim from Candace Owens, and we'll take a look at this exchange.
That he could have been set up as a Patsy.
So this is why I said earlier, so what? Because even if it's the case, this doesn't have an explanation for it yet. That doesn't actually give you any evidence in your corner for Tyler Robinson being a Patsy.
Okay,
hang on. I didn't cut you off, right? You would need to actually explain how this would demonstrate Tyler Robinson. This is tied into Robinson being a Patsy. Mm-hmm. Are you claiming that these fingerprints were Lance Twiggs or that he had any DNA there?
I'm saying that it could be Matt Robinson. It could be Amber Robinson. That sort of information is going to come out during the trial.
How would that tie into the idea that he's a Patsy?
Yes, because if his is the most degraded prints and the information that I shared on my platform is true, that this gun was given to Tyler Robinson as an heirloom. I had conversation with members of the Robinson family, Twiggs family, both of them, you know.
Okay, let's let that sink in for a second. Now, consider this very carefully. Candace has been adamant that Tyler Robinson is a Patsy, and Wilson challenged that. So how do you know? How does this tie in to make Tyler Robinson a Patsy? Quite frankly, Candace's explanation was not that good. Again, going to give a point there to Wilson because, again, Candace is basically saying, if this is true, like I said on my podcast, because his fingerprints are the most degraded, does not a Patsy make. Now, it may clear him of the charges, but that does not make him a Patsy. It really doesn't. I mean, again, so what Wilson went there to do, and we all know this now, was to say, hey, look, you say these conspiracies, you're a conspiracy theorist, you have no evidence to support that Tyler Robinson is a Patsy. I think Wilson did a nice job in this particular segment of convincing the folks who actually care that he's a patsy. It just seems like this is Candace Owens' opinion. All right, so let's take a look at another one here. This one is going to be that somehow Erika Kirk may be complicit, trying to make everyone believe that it is Tyler Robinson who was responsible for this assassination. So let's take a look at this one now.
I want to just directly ask you is, do you actually believe that anybody in TPUSA or Erika Kirk or Erika actually participated, had foreknowledge of, or facilitated the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I'm not going to get myself into a legal pickle here. Everything I've said is on my podcast. I think firmly that if I was the investigating officers, I would seat them all and I would ask questions. I would at this phase. I would.
Okay,
so
what does
using
that
hypothetical.
Mean? Does that mean that you do think so?
I think it was not a sufficient investigation into what we know to be true of 80% of homicides. It's usually conducted by someone you know, right? And the fact that that was never even considered, that like I said earlier, the backpack was returned.
How do you know that was never considered?
Because they gave back the backpack as just one example. They gave back the backpack. They gave back the.
That doesn't show a conspiracy.
Well, I mean, it shows that the police trusted everybody and didn't just hold things up for a second.
They ruled them out as suspects.
That quickly, I'm not comfortable with that investigation. It's a pretty big organization. There's $100 million incentive. This is
what $100 million incentive?
What I'm saying is his organization, it had grown to, I think it was 100 million
plus per year.
Yeah, per year. If that's something you want to factor.
Yeah, but what was
the team wants to play video? If you don't mind, there's a video they want to play of Candace said it's impossible to not believe Erika's complicit. If you guys want to play that video.
Stay tuned to this. This is very important.
And so right now their guys are going out and they're going to look for evidence. And then by May, which is fortunately around the corner, then she'll see what they found. So what the F is that performance? How could you sit up there and say, I 100% believe Tyler Robinson did it. That right there is why it is impossible for me to think that Erika Kirk is not complicit somehow. Because
those two thoughts actually don't even follow. How would it be the case that even if Erika Kirk did believe that Tyler Robinson was 100% responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk, let's just say she believed it with every fiber of her being, believed all the evidence, because she did. She just actually did. Would it then follow that somehow she's complicit in his death?
Again, folks, that's a pretty good point. You see, again, because it's always an inference or an insinuation or conjecture, quite frankly, from Candace, in some cases, not all cases, that because Erika Kirk believes that Tyler Robinson is responsible for Charlie's death, that somehow that makes her complicit. Complicit in what exactly? Is she complicit in trying to fool the world that Tyler Robinson is guilty, or is she complicit somehow in the planning or a conspiracy to murder her husband? And again, in this case, Candace does not have any hard, factual, plausible evidence to support that claim. That, again, I gotta be honest with you, is just her opinion. I have to give one more point to Wilson on this one, because she seems to be giving, Candace Owens seems to be giving Erika Kirk too much credit. So what if she believes, and he's right, so what? If she believes that Tyler Robinson 100% did this, that's not changing my mind. I'm not saying, well, Erika Kirk says that he's responsible, so therefore, hey, no sense of even watching the trial. He's guilty. No, I don't give Erika Kirk that much credit. Now, I am going to take a point away from Wilson, because he did say, and this is very important, this is how this whole debate got underway in the first place. He said that there is overwhelming evidence to support that Tyler Robinson was the person who was responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And then he comes back and says, well, I'm 85% positive. Oh, well, that's not what you said. You said, sir, that there's overwhelming evidence. That's what got you in the trouble that you're in all over the internet right now. So again, I'm going to give you a point for basically calling Candace out for saying that Erika Kirk is somehow complicit in either trying to fool everyone into believing that Tyler Robinson is guilty, or that she's somehow complicit in this whole assassination thing in the first place. But again, it just, for me, seems like her opinion. So let's go to the next clip here. This one is basically him asking her about this exploding microphone theory. This one is pretty interesting.
Do you think that Charlie Kirk was killed with an explosive?
I think that is a possibility. Yes.
Okay.
And it
good.
should be explored. He's done a lot of work on it. John Bray has done good work. And I think that that's why that theory is now starting to gain steam since we released the second set of the photos of what was in the car. I think it's viable.
So this was the big thing I wanted to get into with you on the explosives too.
Mhm.
What is it about that theory that's actually compelling to you? So I looked into the explosive mic theory multiple times.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing that stood out to me is there's no explosion. there's literally no explosion. In fact, there's videos when the shot rings out that kills Charlie. At least it sounds like a shot to me. People are actually like looking up towards where the gun is being fired. They're looking away for where the sound is. Like, where's the actual explosion?
Well, for every person that you say looks away, there's going to be a person that was looking forward.
Point for Wilson, because there was a shot that rang out. Now, let me tell you where we're going with this. His claim is that people looked away, and her claim, for every one person that looked away, there was one person that was looking forward. Well, I might have been one of the people that looked forward, because if I hear a shot, I'm probably going to, naturally, do one of these motions. But there's Charlie Kirk in front of me with blood squirting out of his neck. So yeah, I hear the bang, and then I'm not going to look back because I'm looking at Charlie Kirk bleeding to death. So that is a plausible reason why many people look forward. Now, again, the reason that I gave Wilson this point is because where is the flipping explosion? Really? Look, if one person does this, obviously there's a noise back there. So let's just say, Candace, you're right. And a lot of people didn't look back. Now, there was a spectacle in front of them. The person they went to see, Charlie Kirk, was falling off his chair with blood squirting out of his neck. Now, some will say the explosion took place inside the shirt. All right, now, I'm going to challenge the firearm, the explosive experts, the munition experts. Come on, folks. His shirt would have caught on fire. In order for there to be a projectile fired from anything, a microphone, a pager, anything, there has to be some type of a flash. Anybody knows this who has ever fired a weapon in their lives knows the hammer has to hit, cause that spark for that projectile to fly like that. Now, come on. I mean, he is absolutely correct. If I were debating Candace Owens, I got to tell you, that is one of the questions I would ask is, hey, man, where's the damn explosion? They rigged something so that defies the laws of physics and just went from here into here with that kind of speed and power to cause what we saw. because it was an explosion. I mean, I got to tell you, an exploding microphone, I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, a shot definitely rang out because people did turn around. They didn't turn around. I mean, why would one person even turn around? Why would one when it's boom right up front there and Charlie's falling off the chair? There would be no reason for a single human being, a breathing soul, to do this. And many people did. So the exploding microphone theory, again, folks, honestly, it's just a freaking theory. Next video. Now, this is where Candace actually says, hey, it's my opinion. All right. She says it herself. So let's take a look.
So I'm going back in my head and I'm going, okay, so why is Erika saying with such a degree of certainty, like she was sent out to convince the public, and people bit, by the way. I remember even Megyn Kelly was like, let's wait. She's going to have access to things. I did think she had access to things that we didn't have. Why express that confidence to the public as opposed to just being like, we don't know yet. I feel confident he's involved. They make the rest.
I don't understand. How would any of this make her complicit? And in what?
Well, I've already told you. She's complicit in trying to fool the public into thinking this is some open and shut case.
How's she trying to fool the public into this? If she believes
like, don't look anywhere else.
that Tyler Robinson killed Kirk, if she believes that, how would that be complicit in anything?
I do.
Are you saying that you think she doesn't believe it?
I don't believe that at that stage she sat down with Barry Weiss that's what she believes. No, but that's my opinion.
Right.
And that's my opinion. And there's the problem right there. That's an opinion. You see, it's not a fact. There's no evidence to support that Erika Kirk was complicit in something. Now, I'm going to call this one a draw because Erika Kirk's behavior has been extremely sketchy. And she has lied. She's lied. She's lied on many occasions. When somebody lies, I got to give Candace credit for this one, is when somebody lies, especially to your face, you don't know what to believe going forward. That anything comes out of their mouth can be a lie. So I don't blame Candace for not trusting Erika, but again, it's just giving Erika too much credit. Now, let's give Erika more credit. Wilson, he tweeted out that Erika Kirk, too retarded to have been involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Let me tell you what it is that he meant there. He meant that, well, matter of fact, let's start with the theory. And Candace is all over this theory that Erika Kirk is some kind of handler. She's some kind of spy. She's some kind of secret agent. She was sent to infiltrate TPUSA and to get Charlie to marry her or whatever, to watch Charlie and to make sure that he did whatever the powers that be that were handling her wanted him to do. She marries him, has 2 kids with him, and then when he doesn't do whatever they think he should have done or started going against the grain, that she was complicit in, that she worked with everybody and had him assassinated. I mean, I think that's what he meant by that, because I agree with that. What I will say is, do you have any idea how hard that would be? What kind of training you would need? James Bond couldn't have pulled that off. Is anybody out there who has watched Erika Kirk, seen anything she said, seen her interviews, anything, lead any of you to believe respectfully that she's smart enough or competent enough to pull off that kind of campaign? And that everybody kept the secret, nobody's cracked? That is what he meant by Erika Kirk is just not inept enough to have pulled off this whole handler, this whole infiltration thing. All right. And in addition, again, she has blamed foreign governments for it. Candace Owens has inferred that foreign governments were involved. And again, folks, at the end of the day, she has no evidence to support that. None. So let's move on to the last clip here.
For all of her claims of Patsy, nothing. She didn't have a single claim. She didn't have a single solid piece of evidence. She had no positive evidence Israel's involved in anything. No positive evidence that France is involved in anything. No positive evidence TPUSA is involved in anything. No positive evidence that Erika Kirk is involved in anything. When I ask her about her claims about Erika Kirk, it's just funning. It's just funning, you know? Or, yeah, I do think that she needs to sit down and ask some questions, but, or answer some questions, but you know what? I don't even know if she has. Like, maybe she has. I have no idea. Yes, I'm going to have an official timeline with unconfirmed evidence. That's just fine. Hey, it's hearsay. If that's good enough for the state, it's good enough for me. But my biggest problem with the state is that they're admitting all this hearsay. It's like she's a contradiction machine.
At the end of the day, when the chips fall on the table, these are mostly Candace Owens' opinions. I think she firmly believes it wasn't Tyler Robinson, that it was someone else. But again, him being a patsy, there being foreign government involvement, and many of the things that she says that Erika Kirk is complicit, etc., she just does not have the motherload of evidence that somebody who makes a claim like that should. So I'm going to close this way. Who won the debate? Candace Owens. You know why? Because she won the debate on Thursday. She won that debate before the debate even started. What did you think was going to happen? People were going to say, well, Wilson, he whipped her. No, of course not. You got a middle-aged white dude, a chain-smoking smug guy in Candace's home stadium while she's expecting. And he was the judge and the district attorney who was prosecuting Santa Claus. There are hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million people who believe every single word Candace says. So Wilson tried to do the impossible, and that is change somebody's heart or mind. It's impossible to do that. And Candace has and this is a compliment, has a cult following. I got family members who think Candace Owens is the second coming, that every word she says is true. But I think he did bring up some good points and she says herself, well, this is my opinion. Well, we need to look into it. Or I don't want to get myself into a legal pickle. Oh, come on, Candace. You said Macron's wife has a penis. You're in the middle of a lawsuit. You are not worried about a legal pickle. You have basically goaded Erika into a legal fight so you can open up her books in Discovery. So don't give me, I don't want to get myself into a legal pickle. We're past that now, Candace. This guy Wilson was he looked like a big fat jerk. That's what he looked like. And I will say in conclusion, I will give Candace Owens this. Yeah, somebody from TPUSA like Andrew Colvett should have been sitting in that seat. As always, my dearest friends, fellow Americans, do appreciate you hanging out with your pal, Joe Rossano. Please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment. We love those. For all latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show, please take a moment to adopt yourselves a pet. I say God bless you, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, and we will see you next time.